How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews. I'm excited. Excited for this beer. Why? Because it is a coffee stout from Hop Butcher for the World. If you have watched my reviews of Hop Butcher since the get, you will know they produce a coffee beer called the Colombian Exposition Stout. And it was probably one of my favorite non-barrel aged, non-adjunct stouts I've ever had. It was just basically a coffee stout, and it was excellent. And this came in today. That's how long I waited to review this from the old Hop Butchers. And it is called Coarse Grind Hustle. It's an Imperial Stout brewed with coffee and toffee. A little bit of toffee up in this piece. Fair enough. 11.5% on the back here. They have tasting notes they typically do. Smooth coffee, creamy toffee, sweet caramel. Okay. Got a little grind dude. A little jets in action. Dude's pretty much the best. Actually, I wouldn't. He's one of the best. And the reason why I say that is because there's been a couple labels that have been dropping as of late that I am big fans of that kind of pushes Jetsa for his money. I really like the art design from Anchorage Brewing and what they're doing on a lot of their IPAs. So there's that. And there's a couple breweries that are really getting quite creative with their labels. So there's some of the OG ones out there, your Dudiciels of the world, your Dry Logs / Strange Roots of the world. There's some breweries that are really just crush it on the art design. Hop Butcher has since day one because the dude, Dan Jetsa, is a true artist in every sense of the word. But yeah, so I'm not saying he's the best in the game. I think there's a couple best in the game. Nothing wrong with that. Proper glassware. Got this literally with the beer today. So this beer is going to be awesome. You want to know why? Want to know why? It's called Want to Know Why, not Want to Know High. Because I spilled the ever so slightest amount of this, and everything in my orbit is sticky right now. So yeah, that's how I know it's going to be good. Look at that sucker. It looks like stout. What else you want? Got nothing for you. Malted, little bit above malted malt ball, south of where I like my coffee to be. And a big, rich, dense body. Yeah, nose. I am surprised at how toffee forward this is. Not, I mean, they literally say on the front toffee, and in the back they say creamy toffee and sweet caramel, which is kind of like saying toffee on toffee. I knew there was going to be toffee in it, but it is so rich, but not overpowering. This is not, and this is why I like toffee better than maple syrup. If you dose this with about the same level of maple syrup, all you would smell is maple syrup, and it'd be infinitely crazy, and you wouldn't be able to smell anything else. But when you get that toffee in this beer, it's really nice because it takes, I think it picks up the chocolate and the roast from the actual malt itself and just makes, like, sucks it into itself like it's a black hole. The toffee's a black hole. Instead of blocking out all the other flavors, it, like, sucks it in. It brings that into itself. It becomes part of that nose because there's toffee, there's roasted chocolate, and then there's that nice coffee. The coffee is not overpowering. It's almost like a cold brew kind of coffee thing going on here, so it's not overly bittering. There's a soft bittering. I believe that's more of a hop / kind of roasted malt kind of thing, but you're getting coffee, chocolate, and toffee all together in this nice cohesive package. It almost smells a little bit, it's not barrel aged, it doesn't have char, it doesn't have wood, it doesn't have spirit, but that toffee is a byproduct of age and time, and it's adding this cool, more so in like English barley wine than stout, but that can happen. But it's almost giving you this faux kind of age thing going on with it, which is cool because then you get a little bit of fake age with a robust kind of coffee. I think it's a really fun beer. Yeah, I gotta dive in. Cheers. That's delicious. That is motherfucking delicious. Ooh. I'm trying not to curse now. Not because I don't want to, because I think cursing is like a sign of compassion and empathy and fucking just, I'll say intelligence. I think people who don't curse are weird. But YouTube's algorithm like screws with people who curse. So I'm trying to cut it. It's really good. Like, really good. First things first, mouthfeel's bonkers. Fluffy porter level mouthfeel. This is more of an Imperial porter for me than an Imperial Stout with coffee. The toffee on here is so much the old school mom and pop candy shop toffee. Not like you eat like a whatever, insert Nestle, M&M, Kit Kat, whatever kind of toffee, nougat-y shit. It's just sweet on sweet on sweet. This actually has some depth to it. So it's almost like a better explanation would be like take blackstrap molasses and mix it with a really kind of creme brulee kind of caramel. And it kind of makes sense based off of what they're saying on the label, and adds this kind of sweet component that is both purposeful and meaningful and aggressive. But since it's not like maple syrup or fake vanilla, it's not overpowering. I mean, it helps that it's an 11% beer. When you toss that coffee in the mix. At first on the nose, I said it was more of like a cold press kind of coffee. No, it's not. It's a regular coffee. It's not a huge roast based kind of coffee, but it's regular coffee. I don't want to say this because this is going to come off sounding bad, but it kind of reminds me of like a Dunkin' Donuts, like dark roast with like a caramel toffee swirl. It's way more like not artificial, and I don't drink that shit. I'm not a black coffee. I'm a dark roast coffee with a little cream, a little sugar. But my wife gets that stuff. She's like the most healthiest person I know in the world, but she like gets like Dunkin' like pumpkin swirls and shit. It's her like literally besides all the cakes and candies and pierogies and Reese's. But outside of that, she's pretty good. Anyway, I would say my wife's gonna kill me, but she doesn't watch this. Anyway, it's like that, but in a more kind of real kind of way, and not like synthetic sugar, corn syrup based kind of way. It tastes like real toffee. It tastes like that real kind of caramel swirl, but it's not even close to being overly sweet. I think your combination of the coffee, I think your combination of a big burly stout that has a decent roast base kind of helps counteract that sweetness, because guess what? It's a sweet beer. It's just you have that balance of that bitterness on the other end of things. This is really, really, really good. Like, really good. Like, so good that I want a can of this, and I want to do it side by side with Colombian Exposition. Because it might be my favorite stout they've done, to be perfectly honest with you. Listen, if you watch my reviews, there's one thing that really kind of, like, is a gateway to my heart, and it's toffee. I love it. Why? Because a 15-year-old barley wine tastes like either M&M's, or Raisinets, or toffee, or both, and I love that. So getting that flavor profile in beer is up there for me. It's like one of my favorite things to get. Now, stout wise, you'd be like, it might work on a stout, might not. It works in here, but I wouldn't even call this a stout. The way this mouthfeel comes off, the softness and creaminess mouthfeel, it's absolutely an Imperial porter, and it just comes off so nice, so aggressive, well drinkable. That's the cool trick it's pulling off. Love it. Love it. Yeah, this is delicious. Absolutely delicious. And it is sweet. Usually when I get to these 11% beers that are decently sweet, I just kind of get, I don't know, just get ahead of myself maybe or something. Be like, I like it, but it's too sweet. Or it's too big. I wish it was 8%. No. I love this beer being its ABV. I like how sweet it is. Everything about it. Win, win, win. Across the board. Mount Rushmore status, not just like recently. I'm talking Hop Butcher stouts. Do I go Hop Butcher across the board? I don't know if it'd be Hop Butcher like Mount Rushmore for all Hop Butcher of all time. I still think I put Columbia Exposition. There's a couple small like pales and a hazy that this is probably like the 4th or 5th head, but it's up there. Value and availability on this, I don't know. 11% stout, toffee, yada yada, probably floating around the $17 mark is my guess. I'll leave you with if you like what we like this. If you like coffee, toffee, beer, old English barley wines, but you want a stout. Does that make sense? It does in this beer. If you like those things, you'll like this. So there you go. A review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little HB right now, son. Hope we'll see you next time. Cheers.